Hello artists! Today we're going to make a penguin cartoon floating on a sheet of ice. Go get your favorite art supplies and meet me right back here. To get started, we need to make sure that our paper is horizontal, and that is side to side. If your paper is vertical, up and down, you need to change it so it fits horizontally. The first thing we are going to do, we are going to make a horizontal line across our paper to mark the edge of our water. So somewhere in the middle of our paper, let's make our straight horizontal line, or as straight as we can make it. This is called our horizontal line. So up here is going to be our sky, down here is going to be our water. The horizontal line marks where the sky and the earth meet. So anytime you step outside and you see the sky and maybe the grass meeting together, that is your horizontal line. So now that we have this drawn, let's go ahead and start working on our penguin cartoon. To get started, we are going to focus in the middle of our paper and we're going to use a rainbow line. Simple rainbow line. We're going to connect the ends with a straight horizontal. And we can go ahead and erase part of that horizontal line. Next, let's add a smaller rainbow for the penguin's tummy that can fit right inside. We're going to add an upside down triangle for the beak. And I like to just add simple oval eyes. Let's not forget about the wings. And for the feet, we're going to use the letter W to make our feet. And here we have our penguin. Next, let's work on making our floating piece of ice. We do not need to make this a perfect shape. In fact, we're going to call this an organic shape. When ice breaks off, it doesn't break off in a perfect oval or circle. It just breaks off in these random pieces, and we call those organic shapes. You can leave your piece of ice just like this, but if you would like to give yourself a little bit of a challenge, we can add a ledge to make this look more like a chunk of ice. And to do that, on the ends of our organic shape, let's use a vertical line down on one end, and then we're going to go to the other side and add a vertical line down on that end. They do not need to be the same length. It's okay if one side's a little shorter, so don't worry about that. And now we're going to connect. You can follow the same kind of curve that you did for the top. It does not have to be exactly the same. And there you have it, a chunk of floating ice. Next, let's add some icebergs in the background. I'm going to start at our horizontal line, and I'm going to think of just like a little hill or mountain and go up. Nothing perfect, not a straight line, just a little bit of variation here and there. And to make it look like it's going underwater, I'm going to come right back at this point where I started, and I'm going to do the same thing, but it doesn't have to match. It can be a little different, and go down. This is what's going to be underwater. And we can do the same thing on the other. You can have it look like it's going like behind the penguin. Might make this one just a little bit bigger, just for difference. And again, I'm going to come back to where I started, but go down. And there you have it. You have your penguin in the frigid cold weather of the Antarctic. If you would like, you can add some things to your penguin. We wear hats and scarves and mittens to keep us warm. If you would like to add these things, let's add them now. To start a hat, I make a rectangle shape. It does not need to be perfect. Hats are kind of lumpy, right? So don't worry about it being a perfectly straight rectangle. So once we have our rectangle, I'm going to use a rainbow line, but it's also going to be kind of bumpy and flat on the top and come right back down. From there, you can add these little lines at the top to act as a pom-pom. If you would like to add a scarf underneath the beak, let's use a smile line. We want it to look like it's curving around our penguin, and make a second smile line. You might have to erase some extra details, but that's okay. So here is our scarf, our first part. Let's make it look like it's kind of flying in the back since the penguin's floating on this piece of ice. I'm going to add a rectangle kind of on a diagonal, looking like it's just flying back there. And then I'm going to fit a smaller rectangle right next to it. And that's going to make it kind of look like it's flying in the background. You could add little tassels. If you would like to add mittens to the bottom of the wings here, just add a little horizontal line at the bottom, and you can give those some bright colors. I hope you enjoyed making this penguin cartoon with me, and I can't wait to see what you create. Have fun and stay warm.